truth. Salus populi suprema lexes dom.
Losami village stands as one of the largest settlements, extended to 735 households, home to a total population of 3,830.
Inokeji Kenye, Honorable Power and Minister Power and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Nagaland, and all his entourage. This morning, the Chagasan Students Union would like to welcome all of you to the 77th Executive Secretary CPCC for the invocation.
We thank you for this day. We thank you because you are the reason we are here. We thank you for the way the 77th General Session of CSU has beautifully begun yesterday. We also thank you for the functions that are done before we enter the hall. May you be glorified in everything that we have done and the things that are yet to happen. We worship you with our hearts and praise you with our lips because you are all over. You are the omnipotent, so that we will be challenged, we will be motivated, we will be influenced towards academic excellence, social harmony, and spiritual maturity. Bless the dignitaries who are here.
Our special guest, Enokeji Kenye, Honorable Minister, Power and Parliamentary Affairs, Government of Nagaland, and his entourage. Him and his entourage, I also would like to thank him for consenting to our request to grace the 77th General Conference of the Chagasan Students Union, in spite of his heavy schedule and official engagements. It's an honor to be graced by the presence of such an accomplished leader like him. Thank you, sir.
President, Puchuri Students Union, Secretary General, Northeast Students Organization, you at such a significant level in the beautiful village. So I take immense pride in standing here and hosting all of you together with the local organizing committee. Today, as we are here for fulfilling reason with the theme, breaking barriers, shaping the future. Let us enlighten ourselves with all the tussle we are enduring, and also the ways to pave for a greener pasture. As enacted in our team concept, amid the complexity of our diverse background, it is in time of the adversity that the strength of our unity shine brightest. Of our shared journey, there is a chorus that resonates with hope, the harmonious collaboration of our people, working heart in hand, transiting differences.
I take the honor to release the annual magazine of the 77th General Session of the Chagasan Students Union. It's a beautiful one.
Yesterday, I was a student. Today, I'm a leader. During my short span of time, what I have been observing and my experience, I want to share with you today. How short the time is. The student's life is the shortest, which I can say, to be actively involved in student activities. Just a few years. It's a golden period. Fragile and also crucial. Why I'm saying the golden? It is an opportunity, full of opportunity to acquire knowledge. This is a golden period. Fragile students who are not careful, who are not determined, they can be spoiled. It's very fragile. Crucial. It's very crucial. During this period of time, you're going to equip, you're going to shape your future. This period will determine your future, and therefore it's very crucial. God has created mankind with a purpose. And God also given the discerning power to choose right and wrong. And this is our responsibility to fulfill the purpose of God's given. Therefore, as students, we have to set a goal. And not only setting up the goal, but we have to reach the goal. It is said that the distance between your dream and your reality is just discipline. You are dreaming to achieve your dream, to reach your dream. You have to discipline yourself. This is students. You have to study and learn well, thoroughly, your subject matter. Learning is a joy. It isn't a punishment. So, we need to learn and also be able to, should be employable after your course of study is over in any field. Try to see that. We aim for IAS, IPS, IFS, NCS, NPS. Is that it? So many professions are there. Besides this, uncountable professions. You try your best to reach that. If not, you have alternative. All the professions are equally important. No profession is inferior if you are excelled in any professions. Your excellence matter. That it says that your attitude will determine your altitude. So be positive. One thing I want to tell to the student community particularly, manage your time and money judiciously. Your money is not your money. I want to tell our students community, money is not your money. You want it. It is belong to your parents. Your parents are investing in you. You are studying on credit. You have to repay one day. It is not your money. You have to value your parents' sweat. In order to support, in order to let you achieve your goal, your parents is giving the best. No matter what, whether they eat or not, you are the priority. And therefore, I want to request and urge all the students community, to keep in your mind that money is not yours. Use it judiciously. Don't enjoy with your money now. It is not a time for you to enjoy with money. Do not compel your parents to corrupt. In order to meet your needs, your demand, parents have to correct. Not only in the office, in the business, in every sector. So your responsibility of your parents' corruptions, which you're talking about now. And therefore, I want to tell our students, be careful. Leaders must be good in academic performance. You should lead the students and play as a role of model. Leaders should be better than others. Otherwise, how can you say that you are a leader? How you are going to display? And therefore, students, particularly the student leaders, who want to be a leader, they should not be underperformers. That is why I challenge each and every student leaders. You rise above others and lead the students so that our student community will be benefited. Today, our community, especially Chakasans, I am proud to be Chakasans. Why? Because we can say that my coat is color, a coat of many colors. We speak many dialects, 5 dialects, Chakasans. Like others, we are so rich in languages. So, never ignore, I do not know. If you do not know, you are behind others. I am very proud of my, especially Pula speaking people, Sumi speaking people, Orema speaking people. They know more than Chukri people and Khaza people. Yeah. I know only Chukri. You know Khaza, you know Pula, you know Sumi. You are richer than me. It should not be a barrier for us. Language should not be a barrier for us. I request each and every one of you, let us not let the language be a barrier for us. Okay, CPO is very much concerned for the CSU system of election in selecting the leaders. And we have resolved to do away all the election system of all frontal organizations. But I'm very happy to learn that some of your former leaders have taken initiative, and then you have all decided that you are going to change the system. You know that election is it is for the government to go for election, not for the students' body. And therefore, when we change for the betterment. And we need change. Change is a must. Change for good. Change for better. Who refuse to change will not grow, will not develop. And therefore, I am very happy to hear that you have changed now for the better of our community, particularly the students and Chakasans as a whole, in general. CPO is going to assign a very appropriate task to the new team this year. So, we work together. We will work cohesively in order to uplift our community. There are so many problems within our community, misunderstandings, difficult to come together. These are all barriers. I want to challenge our student community, our youngsters, to come forward. Be broad. Be more positive. Negativity can never lead us to success. So, broad. And we all see that. Not your interest, not your individual interest. Put the interest of the community first. Your interest will be secondary. Let us fulfill our motto. Let the welfare of the people be the final law. Let us uphold this motto. One of the best motto I can say. So, lastly, everything you do, it is said that put God first in your life. God is going to add everything. I'm not intelligent.
Students visino kazakasala mezaza posio by Ili Munusilvero titled My Prayer for You. The stage is yours.
request ku ba uko kuhuma chove move ale as a student moshuri as a leader uko patient ko do
see the present context. From the village to the range area to the tribes and to the Nagas from the highest level, we are facing lot of challenges. From the smallest to the biggest, division has become one of the most and the biggest threat in our society. To my personal observation, why this division has become very common in our society? Because of the generation gap differences. Our thinking, understanding, outlook, experience, and our lifestyle differences make that division in our society. A very simple example. Maybe they may be of the first or the second batch of our community, like especially the senior government officers, those who have already retired, or those who have gone to the level of bureaucracy and have already retired, gracefully accept that retirement. And they have formed a group, or they have started involved in the churches or in the tribal hovos. Like the retired, especially not life retirement, but retired in their government sectors or social activities, but now they have formed such an organization like Thinkers Forum or Senior Citizens Forum, so and so.
I would like to begin by taking the privilege to acknowledge the platform which had molded me and ever seen be the cornerstone of my journey as a student activist. I'm humbled to extend my sincere gratitude to the parent unit of my unit, Chasan Students Union, for reposing the faith in me and upon my candidature, which had enabled me to serve the larger Naga family in the capacity of President NSF. It has been a blessing, an honor, and a challenging service, serving the Naga Student Federation and the youth community across the Naga homeland. CSU has continued to remain one of the strongest federating units of NSF. It stood firm and uncompromising when it comes to the students and our people welfare, abiding to our motto, let the welfare of the people be the final law. We had for the past 77 years give our best to remain faithful to it. The future of our pioneer, a senior who are honest, hardworking, reliable leader of our public, considerate of every common people's welfare, must be cherished and upheld all by our younger generation. Unity has been the driving force that guides our people, and it should remain to do so. Through unity, we have come this far and had witnessed exceptional leaders and personality who had led the Naga people in principle of unity in diversity. The younger generation should never forsake the touch of oneness as Chagasan and in the greater picture in Nagas. Nagas, though divided between 4 states and 2 nations, we must remain to be united though our struggle for self-determinations, our unique history, culture, tradition, costume, and music and folklore. In culminations, with another successful milestone in the marathon of journey of the Chagasan Students' Union, I believe today teams breaking barrier, shaping the future, reflect the challenge we have faced as a community, as a student body, and as a movement. It is a testament to the spirit of breaking free from constraints that have held us back. At the same time, I believe breaking barriers, shaping the future sum up our shared vision of a progressive, inclusive, and prosperous Naga society. As the world progresses at an unprecedented pace, today we as a dignified people, as a Chagasan, as a Nagas, we cannot afford to limit ourselves within the narrow confines of our boundaries and mindset. We must adapt, involve, and constantly push ourselves beyond the limitations if we wish to progress in tune with the rest of the world. I wish to briefly impress upon the youth and student community gathered here today. The future belongs to us, and the society as we see today is a byproduct of our own design. We are either part of the problem or part of the solution. Either we are liability or an asset to our family or to our society. In today's world, your degree only makes you a mere degree holder unless you are able to put the knowledge into practice and are contributing towards the overall growth in your family and society. I appeal to the youth who are idly staying away at home to come out from your comfort of your home and your social media, but take active participations in social activism. Experience the reality in its true self and take active participations in social activities. Take up the entrepreneurship and farming activities for our self-sustenance. No work, no job is too small, but there is dignity in labor and small beginning. You will command respect and society will regard you only if you work, whether big or small, because you are contributing your service.
Hey, Jesus, Jesus, mais de quel œil, mais de quel œil, he ha hele, la hele ezoi, la hele ezoi, senelekate, otati shahotati, hey yata hey, hey. I'm so
It brings back a lot of memory, which is revisiting the past and our own history. It will be recorded because today we have a very vibrant media and press personalities who always do their best to cover all the auspicious and important occasions in the state. I wish to also mention especially the presence of our media fraternity, our friends from the fourth estate of our great democracy, who never leave us, make sure that they always give good coverage. And because of them, history will be created and it will be shared. All these events will be shared in the state as well as in the entire world. Chagasang Students Union was earlier called Chagasang Students Conference. Nothing has changed except the nomenclature. History tells us that our elders, the pioneers, were foresighted and they could envision what was to come for the Naga people decades ahead of time. We are fortunate to have such leaders who could understand the circumstances of time and could predict the future events. Nagas in those days, particularly in 1946, we were only a district under the state of Assam, called the Naga Hills. These parts of today, what you call as the state of Nagaland, was only one district under Assam. Students' Union was in this Kohima subdivision. Naga Hills had two subdivisions. One was Mokokchu, one was Kohima. And these parts and the present state capital Kohima was under Kohima subdivision. So the earliest contact we had with the mainland was through this platform called the Plains and Hills Tribal, Students' Union. So they coordinated well, and in many cases, many events, they have managed to bring understanding among the tribal people and the people living in the plain areas, whom we hardly had any contact. The students' unions were important because in those days we had no ministers, no MLAs, no secretary, no directors, no administrative DCs or so on and so forth, either in administration, whether in education, whether in politics, whether in other fields. We had scarcely any leader worldwide, and we hardly had any teachers. That was the time when the students, the very few students who were matriculates or even high school students, were highly respected and looked upon to provide leadership to a people who have just been exposed to education, to religion, to modernity, and the advancement of any society. It just started. The system was yet to take shape. Nothing was put in order. We didn't know how to go about. I doubt whether we had 10 graduates among Nagas in that time. I wonder whether we even have 50 matriculates in the Naga society in the early 40s. So, in the background of such a situation, the very few educated people had to take on the role of leadership and provide guidance, advice, and leadership to our people. Going on there. Provides the background music, okay? They have reached with a period just after the Second World War. After a world war with such high impact that has shaken the entire world with so much chaos and turmoil, the world too was just reassembling and starting to gear up for the post-war period of human life on Earth. A time when there was a new dawn of political concepts, understanding, and also outlooks. So the approach was sudden. And the British, who had been ruling this part of the world for centuries, were just vacating India, which was the capital of the Asian continent of their rule. They were liberating India and so many other South Asian nations, also so many other nations in Africa, especially in the southern part of South Africa. So caught in that sudden development of political changes, a lot has happened. We had no high school, not a single high school in the entire Peck district. We had not a single health center in the entire Peck district. A public health, primary health center or a subsidiary health center was not there. In our present day Melody subdivision, there were hardly any communicable roads. So you could imagine the plight of our people living this side. The CGI roof iron roof topping was an honor for all of our people, because we had only thatched houses. So often, very often, when it comes to division for supplies of any benefits, we used to run short. The smaller tribes had enough. They get even more. But since it has to be divided equally, it hardly covers our side. So this has been going on for many years. Our leaders understood that tomorrow, with a new political arrangement, which may come any day, even leadership and representation will also be based on tribal lines. Or in terms of benefits, development, and in every way, we will have our own share. We will get our own share in every way, in every sense. So that is why the few students, educated people of those days, led by your late grandfather, Mr. Goy Prakline, he being the most educated, the first educated among our tribe those days, the responsibility of carving out a different entity had to rest on his shoulders and his head. So with the support of all his colleagues and the educated people, the leaders of those days, they had gone on to create a new tribe called Cha-Kesa in the year 1946. And that is when we formed our separate tribal students union and named it Chakasang Students, as we would like to call it today, Union. And that is why we are 77 years today. You have your own intellects. God has given you enough to think, to understand, to act. Use it. You have to exploit what is inside sometimes, especially the touchy, the highly sensitive, and the important issues connected to our lives by being a part of this Naga society. Try to understand what's written in between the lines. Be curious, be inquisitive, ask again, ask again, ask again. Don't just shake your head and swallow what everything is told to you or what meets the eye in front of you. Be responsible citizens. Many things have gone wrong. Many truths have been buried. We are yet to uncover many facts which have been instrumental in the circumstances that we are in today. But I will say that we have to start on a new note, on a clean sheet. We have missed many opportunities as Nagas. Let us not try to point fingers and stop this blame game somewhere. We have to stop this. We are not on a witch hunt. What is going to happen if we are able to particularize a certain person, a certain section, or a certain event and blame it? That's not going to change history or our circumstances. Yes, we keep blaming each other. We keep trying to find faults in our leaders. A stone will not make mistakes. A wood will not make mistakes. That is our Chakasang saying. There is a saying. It is man who live and act and try and attempt who will make mistakes. So let that be a different chapter. Leave it as it is. One thing sometimes we also have to understand is providence. What we are and where we are today is not entirely our making. Somebody up there is monitoring, is supervising, is taking, is giving, is directing. It is inspiring you, guiding you from behind, urging you to speak the things you do speak, or to act in the way that you act, and to live. That's how we are today. Highly questionable. One side, are we prepared to sacrifice and face the situations which will come if we truly and really start a revolution? Look at our neighbors, Myanmar. This kind of civilian public uprising, can we, years together now, more than a decade, after the junta government have denounced the democratically elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi, everything have started. Today it is at its peak. No one can say which way it is going to go tomorrow. But for all that I can see, my humble opinion is that this country is going to collapse. It will. There are certain forces at work who wants to bring back their monarchy after nearly 2,000 years. Who have ruled Myanmar for 2,000 years. But the way we see and study the people behind, I am not convinced. So the North will be another story, the South or the further East may be another story. But the government of the day, the junta government, their days are numbered. Confronted with. And finally, there is a light at the end of the other tunnel. Are we so resilient? Can we endure such kind of challenges, situations, or not? Think again. If we mean it, we are ready. But the people are citizens, whether we are ready or not, to give up all the government jobs, big or small, from the chief secretary up to a peon and chowkidar and sweeper. Come on. Are we ready to tender our resignations? Are we ready to give up the traits that we have with others and become self-dependent? How many hours can we stay without power? How dependent we have become of it? What are we producing locally? How many weeks or months will it sustain us without supplies from outside? How about our cars and vehicles? How long will it run if the fuel supply is cut off? How many hospitals will function and continue to treat the patients if the supply chain of medicines are cut off? We can go on and on and on. Study our circumstances. Can we? I'll leave the answer to you. I want to provoke your thoughts. What is reality in around us? You have to study. So given this situation, it's a Herculean task, and nothing is going to happen overnight. So we have to live with a balance of reality and a myth. Aspiration is a dream. It is still a myth. What is reality is fact that surrounds your everyday life. Somewhere in between, let us strike a balance and live our lives properly. Balanced approach in your life, day to day. Let us have self-restraint. Don't go overboard. Do not become too emotional. But let us not lose our identity and ourselves and forget our history. My last point. Nagas, I've been saying again and again. Everywhere we go, our culture is very important. Starting with the Hornbill Festival in the state, we have many Hornbill festivals in every tribe. This morning, we were entranced by two of our young children singing such a beautiful, melodious folk song. It is well, from head to toe, whatever fineries that we adorn ourselves with, whatever we wear, our ornaments, and the songs that we sing, the folk tunes, folk tales, folk dances, and our clothing, we don't forget, and we continue to make it a part of our lives. Just like that, let us also not forget our qualities, our traits, our habits, our mannerisms, our nature, and our character. One side of it we continue to preserve, practice, and promote. It is well. It must be. But the other important side is our virtues we are forgetting. Look at some of the greatest scholars, anthropologists, historians who have come and as a soldier and have walked in this part of our land. Dressed in camouflage. Yes, wartime they had to wear a hat, carry a rifle. But inside those uniforms, there were scholars, historians, anthropologists, highly intellectual people who came. And they have studied us, lived with us, seen us, and have jotted down, written such beautiful passages in history books, which are available. All the best attributions to any human being, mankind, have been written in favor of us, attributed to us. Breaking Nagas, such cultured people, such sense of pure democracy, such an organized people. They have no jails because they have no criminals. They never locked their house because there were no thieves. There's not a single case of rape, burglary, theft, nothing. Yes, in war, we do take hats, but that is love. That is war. So in love and war, all is fair. But at other times, we don't murder. We are solely, purely self-dependent. We live by what we till, soil, labor for, and we survive that way. We don't depend on others. We don't cheat others. They really admire us. The English, the Britishers, the Allied forces. The cradle of education and civilization, modern day civilization, is from the West. They have ruled almost the whole world, and they have seen different people in different continents all over the world. But they found us to be something special, something worth seeing. After seeing, hearing from others that, terrible, horrible headhunters, they will spear you, kill you alive. They are cannibals. They'll cook you and eat you. All those ghastly type of opinions or rumors they had. But when they came into our country and started seeing us, observing us, studying us, that was far from truth. So they have given the best attributions to us. But how quickly it is depleting, how quickly it has vanished from our life. Not even 1 century. In a span of about 40, 50 years, 60 years effectively, we have changed a lot. Thousands and thousands of years of our priceless inner qualities, virtues, personalities have been drained in our pursuit, clamor, race for money. That is the single word called money. Whether I deserve, whether it is mine or others, whatever is within my reach, snatch it, grab it, take it. That is the type of raw attitude we have come up with. Christianity is supposed to refine us more. And the Bible never preaches such things. But as a young, immature society, we are abusing everything that is at hand. Of this, the worst. We live in between two of the greatest ancient civilizations and great countries they are today. The most populated countries in the world, India and China, on both sides of us. We are not adopting their culture, neither a Chinese, neither an Indian, nor a European culture. This is something unique. We have turned out to be some super breed, I must say. Scary, unfathomable, something which is completely alien to us. We hate each other like anything. We have no more shame. No shame. We have no more love. And we have no more fear. We have no more fear. When we were not Christians, our ancient religious leaders, if elders said, curse you, we are so scared. Or if they put a symbol, they tie, make a sign and put it on a certain paddy house, granary, or some firewood or anything, we are afraid to touch it. The headman, the religious leaders used to pronounce what is a taboo. Everybody listens to them. Canado, Caniho. We used to obey, we fear. But today, no taboo, sabu, nothing. We commit as much sin as we want, and we go and confess our sin, revive ourselves again. This is completely destroying us. It is not like this. Few years back, you were all kids, I know. Some of the leaders, elders here will know. If somebody dies, there was a gunfight. The corpse also was, even if he's not my relatives, was washed, was looked after, and their village or tribal shawls were put until their family reached and take them. 101 people used to condemn on the newspapers for such kind of murders, fratricide. These days, not even a word of sympathy or acknowledgement. People are dying left and right, nobody cares. You see a corpse in the road, you're not bothered. See, we are changing. Unconsciously we are changing. Friends, we must recultivate the good qualities, these personalities and virtues that humankind, the world is looking for, is here plenty. Let us bring it out again, practice it. We are very few, just a point, a drop of water in the ocean, but the world will love us and recognize us and make these personalities and virtues as a part of our identity only if we live by the ancient qualities.